Sorry about that. I'm not the biggest technological nerd, so some of the stuff gets confusing for me. Brienne finally got us squared away, so thank you to Brienne. Thank you, Miss Movies.
Remember to hit
Grandpa, how do I turn this on?
When you're done. But not now.
Not now.
Okay.
All right. Anyway, all right. So I'm starting with these Patreon submitted questions. I'm going to go one by one through them, and then we'll get some live questions. How's everyone doing? What's going on? And let me know if you want me to answer as the Outlaw or as John Rocha. I realize some people want to hear the Outlaw's take on stuff versus John Rocha's take on stuff. So just put Rocha or Outlaw, and then I'll answer in that way. All right. Andy Schick, his first question is, besides you and Nost being a team, how do you expect the teams will be divided up with the Horsemen? Well, I think that's going to be interesting as it goes down the pike, because team champs, which was Riley and Merle, they were a championship team, and Mance is still part of Team Trek, kind of technically, so I don't know how that's all going to play out itself, but I think it depends on how this whole tag team tournament is going to go down here coming up soon, how we differentiate all of that. But Matt and I are a team, yes, absolutely. Maybe Team Champs is coming back, or a number of iterations. We shall see how it all plays out. Joaquim Skajem, I hope I'm saying that right. Will the Horsemen have a manager? And if so, will it be someone already in the stable? Well, here's what I'll tell you. Will the Horsemen have a manager? I've been thinking about it. That's for damn sure. I think we need a female presence in the Horsemen. I've been pushing for that. So if there's a female manager who comes along who wants to manage us, who can handle all these 5 champions and bring her own kind of style and flavor to it, and a powerful style and flavor to it, then I think that's the one for us. And I've been looking to see if there's anybody out there who'd be willing to do it, but I'm definitely open to it. I'd love to have a manager for the Horsemen. All right, Andy Schick asks again, when you were mentoring Keaton, did you, by the way, I didn't know she told people this. I just found this out online, and I was just being, she was nervous about walking in, and I like Keaton from AfterBuzz, and we've been friends, and I thought I could just help her with it. Didn't know she was telling people I was mentoring her. When you were mentoring Keaton, did you happen to mention at any point that Tatooine doesn't appear in Empire Strikes Back? Very funny, Andy. Those who can't do make fun, right? I am a 2-time champion, regardless of the Bespin joke. What are you, Andy? You're not a champion, are you? All right, let's move on. Alec Musial asks, are you guys going to keep that Nas track as a Horseman theme? It was perfect for the live event. No, that was just for me, because I had read online how a lot of people were thinking the Outlaw was done, and everyone was kind of hating seeing the Outlaw so much. Why is the Outlaw always in the mix for stuff? Why is Top 10 always in the mix for stuff? Never mind that we keep winning, and we've beaten some of the best to ever play the game. Not rookies, not new teams. We've beaten the best, except for the Patriots, of course. But so I use that track as kind of a way to let people know, you can hate me now if you want, but I'm still going to do my thing. And I did it that night against JT, and I was 1 5-pointer away from doing it to Snyder. So don't think I'm going anywhere. All right. Tobias Mostad asks, I wonder, now that you are teamed up with the greatest of all time, Dan Merle, how do you deal with the fact that you are never going to get the singles belt again? Well, these are some mean questions. Well, I never deal with the fact that I'm never going to get the singles belt again, because I never think that I'm never going to get the singles belt again. Anything can happen. You never know with the Schmodown. We've seen so many upsets. Who saw JT beating Drew McWeeny? Did any of you see that in a 7-round overtime thriller? No. A lot of people thought JT might beat me in the live event. Some people thought we were going to beat the Patriots once and for all, and we didn't get it done. So you never know what can happen. So Sam was 1 letter away in the singles tournament to losing to me. The Lena Headley controversy, you knew who I meant. You knew who I was talking about. This wasn't Kelly McGillis, Kelly McGonigal, or whatever JT answered. Literally 1 letter. So that's how close Sam came to not being a champion. So, anything can happen in the Schmodown. Craziness can happen. So, no, the greatest of all time, I respect Dan Merle to pieces. I think Dan Merle is going to get that belt again. And it's like Batman and the Joker. No one motivates me more than Dan Merle and Mark Riley. Well, now that we're all together, we're just going to motivate each other. Let's see. Alec Musial. Oh, no, sorry. Jaw Movies, Jaw Movies, asks, are you technically the manager of the Horsemen, and is any of the Horsemen planning to compete in the Star Wars division? Okay, here's what I'll tell you. There is no manager of the Horsemen yet, because all 5 of us are alpha dogs who have been champions or are champions, like Jason Inman's a current champion. So there's no need to manage us, because we're all adults and we know how to motivate each other and psych each other up and get each other in the right frame of mind to compete. So there's no need for a manager at this point. That being said, I did say earlier, I was looking at a female manager. I want to bring in a female manager to manage the Horsemen. We'll see how that plays out. But someone to maybe, when we all get a little too hyped up, you need someone to kind of calm us down. And maybe we can't do that for each other if we're all competing on the same day. So that's something to think about too. What was the other part? Oh, yeah, the Star Wars division. So I'm going to announce this here now. In 6 months, will start competing in the Star Wars division. I have started watching the movies, making massive notes, and I'm going to create a whole sequence of note cards. And you guys know when the Outlaw gets focused on winning a belt, he wins that belt. I've won the singles belt. I've won the tag team championship belt. And I want that Star Wars belt. The final nail in the coffin of Bespin will be me winning that Star Wars championship once and for all, putting that belt on my waist, and I may even retire from Star Wars competing after I win that belt. We'll see. But that's my goal in the next 6 months to start competing for that Star Wars belt. We'll see if Christian lets me. After that Bespin thing, he doesn't let me near any of those Star Wars things. All right, Mary Milan asks, hey, Outlaw, this is Maximilian, okay, the student of Andre Gordon's. Oh, yeah, did you FaceTime? What's up, Max? With 3 former singles champs within the Horsemen, how do you see the singles competition playing out between the 3 of you? And which faction do you see as the Horsemen's biggest competition as of now, Five Club or the Lion's Den? Well, first, congratulations, Max, on getting that high honor that you got at your competition when we FaceTimed. And Andre told me he's a great teacher, so I'm glad you were able to succeed at that, brother. Keep doing your thing. Who knows? Maybe I'll see you in Hollywood on a film set, and I'll interview you on your film set. Wouldn't that be incredible? The second thing is this. Do you see the singles play out? Here's all I can tell you. The 3 of us are hungry. The 5 of us are hungry. We all want a shot at that singles title, so we're all going to bring our A games when that time happens. So that's what I'll tell you is we're all champions. We're all motivated, and, no love lost. I mean, no, not to say that. I don't want to say that, but we're all supporting each other, and if we got to play each other, it'll be a gentleman's competition. There'll be no hijinks or, stupid stuff going on during matches where people talk or try to play heel during matches, which I really hate, because what we do outside of the match, playing the face, playing the heel, that's fun for that time. But once the match starts, I think there should be a level of respect. And if you can't have that level of respect during matches, I got no respect for you. So we would never do that to each other because we respect the game too much. And the big faction, do I see as the biggest competition? I say I'd have to go with the Fight Club at this point because of because you've got Andraco, Rachel Cushing, Clark Wolf, Emma Fife. This is a strong contingent of people in the Fight Club. And they've had their troubles with the Viper Squad, but I think the Fight Club is someone that is a team that I think the Horsemen are a little concerned about, that's for sure. And, it's full of a lot of intelligent, smart people with movie trivia. So it'll be interesting when we all clash, if we ever do down the road. All right, so Max has another follow-up. This is his mom's follow-up. Hi, Mary. Thanks to Max, our whole family watches the Movie Trivia Showdown, and I decided to be a patron. Well, thanks, Mary. That's very kind of you. We love everything about the show, and in a very large part, we were hooked because of the Outlaw. Thank you. That's very kind of you. My question is, how do you go back and forth between being a heel, a face, and some sort of hybrid between the both? Well, look, if you know me in real life, there are moments that I can be a heel, even though I'm mostly a face in my real life. There are moments, certain things that get me jazzed up and get me a little upset or passionate about things. So that's just my natural personality. What Christian asked me to do when we started the Schmodown was to turn that heel part of me up to past level 10 to level 11 so that I could get this whole kind of wrestling vibe instilled into the Schmodown. And I did that. And once that happened, people at first started to hate me, but then as they saw me winning and they enjoyed my promos and I really settled into the character, they started to come be on my side. Then when I won the belt, they were happy for me. But now I've been around so long, people are starting to wonder if I still got it. So the way I play both sides is that I just know wrestling, professional wrestling for decades. So I know how it works to swing between heel and face. And I'm one of those tweeners. I'm kind of the Attitude Era, The Rock, Stone Cold, Triple H. I play in between the lines, and people just enjoy the character that I do and don't necessarily want to put me in a box. So I think I've earned the right to exist outside the box of face or heel. But Mary, thanks for coming aboard, and I appreciate Max, and I support Max and everything he's doing, so give him a shout out as well from me. Oscar Romo, 2 questions for me. Aside from winning the belts, all the belts, what is your favorite match in which you competed? And favorite match as a spectator? Okay, so my favorite match in which I competed that I didn't win a belt has to be a tie. And it was the Christian match, me and Harloff, because I really didn't know if I was going to beat him. Like, honestly, Christian was so knowledgeable about film. And at that time, he was, you know, he was doing his little games with me to try to get me mentally like out of my game. And so it was interesting to have them and have it go the way it went and answer that horror question, which I pulled out of my ass, and to keep me in contention and to win it on the last question was pretty incredible. And it let me know that I do have a shot at winning that belt. If I hadn't beaten Christian, I don't know if I'd ever been a champion. So that was something that was really important for me. But the tie is with the JT, the live event. That experience of having 250 people, 300 people cheering your name and supporting you for the most part really carried me through that match with JT, really like got me focused. Because, you know, we do it for our friends here, our fellow competitors. It's not the same as the fans. The fans chanting your name, the fans supporting you, the fans like carrying you through a miss or, you know, being excited for you, you know, spinning on Westerns or landing on Westerns, being excited for you to steal points from JT on his category, Sly and Arnie. All of that was an incredible experience. And then getting to meet and talk with the fans afterwards and take pictures, like all of it. So the match itself was great, but also being a part of it was, the whole experience was incredible. As far as favorite match to watch as a spectator, I think that has to probably be, I don't know, maybe a tag team match. Oh, the Patriots and Rotten Tomatoes, whatever their team was, I can't think of it right now. They were fantastic. That was a hell of a match that went down to the last thing. Oh, the above the line match with the Patriots the first time around. That was an incredible match. Such back and forth. You didn't know who was going to win, and then to lose that way for above the line, I think that's what motivated them to come back and win that belt, and then, you know, and win the belt the second time they played the Patriots. So pretty incredible stuff. All right, so let's move on to your questions. Where are we on this? How do I move up here? I'm like grandpa trying to figure this out. Am I here? Am I on? All right. Here we go. Okay, how long before the live show? Did you know damn show? Okay. All the belts start. I love that quote. All right, John. Okay, cool. We're in the middle of a super strong storm. Hopefully I keep connecting long enough. Hey, Patrick, how's it going, everybody? It's 100 plus today here in LA. It is. What's up, Patrick? Hey, Josh. Hey, Darth. Please answer Rocha as my question. Hey, hello. Hello, John. When will you begin providing back child support to Andrew Guy's mother? You have a lot of birthday gifts to catch up on as well. Well, here's what I'll tell you. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I think with Andrew, it is what it is there, and I don't know if it's ever going to go further than that, to be honest with you. So we'll see if I ever do that, to be honest with you, but we'll see. Let's see. Brianne Chandler should manage the 5 Horsemen. Oh, Brianne has her own faction to worry about. She's doing just fine with her crew. The Crusher? No, the Crusher already has her crew. She's in the Fight Club. She wouldn't manage the Horsemen. Will you be adding a horsewoman at any point? Zach M03241988. I've said this before. I said this earlier, I do want a female manager or a female competitor part of the Horsemen. I said the Horsemen. People jumped on the 5 Horsemen, and that's great for now, but there may be a time where we become the Horsemen and we bring in female competitors. Absolutely. I definitely want to keep this as open as possible. And I want to address the diversity thing real quick. Don't forget that I'm Latino. Okay, you may not think I'm Latino, you may not think I look Latino, but I'm from 2 Bolivian-born parents who immigrated to this country. So I am first-born generation in this country, but I am Latino. So to have me be one of the stars of the show and also one of the leaders of the Horseman faction lets you know there is diversity in the Schmodown. I just want to make sure that's clear to people. Brianne managing the Horseman would be amazing. Yeah. What will make this version of the Horseman last? Winning. Honestly, winning, supporting each other, seeing how we work together, and knocking it out of the park when we get our chances to get up on the stage, and being patient with each other. I think that has to be clear. Dan and Mark have not fought in a long time. They've got rust. Everyone's like, oh, Dan's going to kill Dan. You don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen in that match, so we'll see what happens with Mark Riley's first match. We'll see what happens. I'm in this for the long haul. So whatever happens in the first match of both of these guys, My job is to make sure they are good to go for the long haul to be part of the Horsemen. You know, I tried that with Bibiani and Burnett. They didn't want to listen. They eventually left, and look at their careers now. I want to keep the Horsemen going as powerfully as possible. That's my goal. How many of the Horsemen? Oh, yeah, sorry, Shirkward. That question was from Jackson Barber. This is from Shirkward. How many of the Horsemen do you think will be in the singles team tournaments? All of us. What's my message? All the belts, all the records. Now it's expanded to the faction. We all must have all the belts, all the records. That's what I want. You follow NXT, WWE, NXT, the Unconquered. What is that? What is that? What do they do? They have all the belts. That's right. That's what they want to do. The Undefeated. That's what they want to do. All right? Just letting you know. All right. Dustin Dubuque. Is Ethan Irwin the scariest rookie in the league right now? Yeah. Ethan Irwin is incredible. He is a machine. He is a monster. We'll see how he does as he progresses. But beating Drew McWeeny, that's not an easy thing to do. So for him to do that and then move on to the next situation, pretty incredible stuff. You will always be a champ in our book. Oh, thank you, Mary. That's very kind of you. Which Insta profile do we watch for the top 10 shows unboxing? Oh, we're actually posting those on our Facebook page. So if you go to our Facebook page and you join the Facebook page, we're posting those videos up. Dorian has been helping us on the social media side. He's been kind of creating videos for us. So we're going to start putting that on my IGTV account. That's The Rocha Says. Go and follow me there on Instagram, and you'll start to see me post more of those videos of us unboxing stuff. So you'll be there real soon. That was from Josh Mabry. Patrick Hart and Rocha, if Harbaugh were to come to you and ask you to retire from competition, but in trade will allow you any other role in the movie trivia showdown, what would you want to do? Commissioner. If I was to ever retire, I would want to be the commissioner of the league. I think that would drive people insane, and some of the decisions and choices, because Christian and I talk storylines all the time. He makes the final decision on what he wants to do. He talks to a lot of people about storylines, but we do have fun discussions about them. So it would be nice to have a little bit more input, a little bit more like influence in where it could possibly go. So, but I'm not retiring anytime soon, Patrick. Sorry, I hate to break your heart there. Mary, okay, Becky Yaboa. Yay, get it, Rocha. Thank you. Darth Roma, Outlaw Goat. Oh, that's very kind of you. Dan Merle is the GOAT. Everyone knows this. BCD, what competitors are you and the rest of the Horsemen? Somebody you respect in the show. What are you and the rest of the Horsemen? Who would you like to compete with? Oh, I'm sorry, I can't understand this. Hold on, BCD. What competitors are you and the rest of the Horsemen, somebody you respect in the showdown but would like to compete with in a tournament? Oh, what are some of the competitors? Well, above the line. Sam Levine and Drew McWeeny are incredibly powerful. Ethan Irwin. I think Bibiani is starting to find his feet. Obviously, Brienne with her winning the free-for-all. She's someone to look out for. Clark Wolf and the Shire Wolves with Rachel Cushing. Would love to play them in a tag team match. That'd be great. Listen, I still want to play the best. To beat the best, to be the best, you got to beat the best. So to see where we're at as a top 10 team, I still want to play the best that this team division has to offer. The problem is you got to let these other teams kind of come in and establish themselves. So we have to kind of take a little bit of a back seat. We're going to come back soon. We're going to have our competition. And now that the Patriots lost the belt to above the line, we'll see what happens at Collider and we'll see if they can. Because if above the line beats the Patriots again, then top 10 is back in the mix, baby. Let's see what happens. Let's see. Josh Mabry, how did it feel to pull Inman away from your nemesis? Well, I don't know if I've pulled him away from my nemesis just yet. Team Trek is still a thing. Mance and Inman are still a thing. So we'll see how that plays out. We're still negotiating things in that way. So I didn't pull him away from Mance just yet. Jackson Barber, what did you learn from Bibbs and R&B's betrayal that will help this version of the Horseman? I went and found people that'll listen. I went and found people that'll actually respect me as a champion and the advice I'm trying to give them, and not be cocky and think they know everything or not listen or get too emotional. They're going to be level people. Riley, Merle, I worked hard to recruit those guys, to get those guys. Inman was immediately on board because Inman was hungry to be part of the faction. He didn't feel he was being respected in the factions he's been in, and I assured him that he would be respected in the Horsemen, one of the integral parts of the five, right? So Dan Merle and Riley, I know those guys are coming in. They understand the game. We respect each other, so there's a certain level of respect between each other and consideration for the words that each other is speaking, so that it works out that way. Dustin Buick, Rocha is the big show of the Schmodown. Heel face, heel face. I like to think I'm the Rock of the Schmodown or Stone Cold Steve Austin between it. Like, let's look at it that way instead. Becky Aboa, hey, Rocha, I'm curious. Did you approach Riley, Inman, and Merle to be a part of the Horsemen, or does Christian decide the factions since he writes the storylines? Well, look, I can't give you too much of the behind the scenes, but I can tell you this. This was not the initial plan. And I told him I wouldn't put the Horsemen back together until he came to me with people that I felt fit for what we wanted to do next. I didn't want to just have 2 more people come in and work for the Horsemen again, and maybe they, leave again. No, I wanted to bring back the Horsemen in a more powerful way. I wanted it not to be limited to 4, and I wanted to bring back champions into my stable who understood and respected the name, the Horsemen. And that's what ended up happening with Riley and Merle. And it took a while. Riley was back and forth on it because of what happened in the free-for-all, even more so. Dan was back and forth because Dan wanted to be sure that he could really commit to this and be a part of the Schmodown again if he was going to come back. So it is my honor and my blessing that I was able to convince them on my part, as much as Christian was on his part, to bring them back into the Schmodown and into my stable, into our stable. So that was a thing for me. I wanted to make sure we had the right people. And if we were going to beat the Lions Den or any other faction, we had to bring out the big guns. Let's see. Okay, did you approach? Okay, Josh Mabry, how do you train? Watch all the movies, all the director's cuts, study IMDb. It's a variety of things. Like, I take a lot of online movie trivia. I know a lot of online movie trivia websites I go to and take those quizzes and compete with other people on it. Sporkle works. Jeff Snyder and I, who work next to each other now, we'll take our breaks and like quiz each other and compete with each other on certain quizzes and things of that nature. And then, yes, movie trivia books. We use IMDb every once in a while, but it's difficult to know because now, so many years into the Schmodown, it's difficult to, I could train, like I could always rely on my knowledge as a base. Now my knowledge has to increase in order to be able to compete with everyone else because the questions are getting more and more difficult at times and also obscure and also are about films that I have not seen like 400 times. So that, it behooves you to do more work. And so, I think you see that with, to give them a little credit, Ben Bateman and Andrew Guy, they have gotten better as competitors as this thing has gone along because they have started studying and focused on films and the current films and films in the past. They've done a lot of work to kind of catch up, which is the work I was doing when I started. So kudos to them. BCD, Team MODOK or Rotten Tomatoes. That's right, Team MODOK. You're right. Thank you for correcting me on that. Patrick Harden Rocha. Where's that? Rocha, who is someone behind the scenes that doesn't get much credit that you'd like to give some kudos to? All the production guys. Every single one of those production guys works hard to create a great Schmodown for everybody. They deal with the swings in emotion. They deal with the anger. They deal with, the stress of getting all this stuff shot at the same day. This is on their days off. Sometimes they come in and work entire days on the Schmodown, 8 hours sometimes on Saturdays or a Sunday because of scheduling and stuff. They do that. So, Copster, Cody Hall, Adam, everybody involved in the production deserves a lot of credit for being a part of the Schmodown. And they're unsung heroes, that's for damn sure. And they deserve way more than they're getting from nobody else. Let's see here. Zach M03241. Skip my first question.
What's he saying? What's he saying? What's up, Zach?
Look at that. There he is.
Yeah.
Mark Ellison.
Carrots.
Ow! Baby carrots. I still need revenge. Yes, I do. But I remember when I won the championship and you couldn't do it against Dan Merle. Do you remember that? Boom!
I got opponent's choice. He got spinner's choice. That's BS, man.
Come on, man. That's how it goes.
How much long are you in here?
What?
How much long are you in here?
I don't know. Maybe another 15, 10 minutes? Or do you need it?
I need you to produce.
Oh, what do you need? Like 10 minutes?
If 10.
10. Less, yeah, that'll be fine. All right, let's get through these real quick then.
Love you, Zach.
Undisputed Era. With that said, what's your vision for Body Slam? Great stuff there. Oh, Body Slam. That's the podcast we have there. professional wrestling on the Collider Factory feed. If you don't know that and you're a big fan of pro wrestling, listen to us. Me and Aaron Turner, we have various guests on every week to talk about the world of professional wrestling. So it's Collider Body Slam on the Collider Factory feed. Go to it. My plan is to make it bigger and bigger and bring in wrestlers to come and talk to us. Jen Decker is helping us with that a lot. She's been incredible. So got to give her a lot of love. BCD, sorry for not being clear enough with my question, but thank you for answering. No problem, man. Eric Grebner, Rocha, you look like you have dropped 20 pounds in the past month. It's not true. I'm just wearing bigger shirts. I'm just wearing bigger shirts. And I'm shopping in better places that form my clothes so I fit better than that. Okay. Let's see here. Thank you, though. I appreciate that, Eric. Thank you. What are your thoughts on the Horsemen and the Main Event Mafia comparison? No, because Main Event Mafia is TNA. It's Impact. That is not the level we're playing at. We're playing at WWE level, son. So we are something beyond. We're like Evolution. That's what I would say. Evolution. You had what? You had Batista, you had Orton, you had Flair, you had Triple H. That's what we are. And you could throw in Shawn Michaels if you want. That's what we are. Not Main Event Mafia. No. Patrick Harden, Rocha, how odd is it to know you're involved in a creation that has a fan base that will pay through Patreon to ensure it continues? Patrick, honestly, it's a humbling experience. And when we first started this thing, I had no idea it was going to be the way it was. I just enjoyed doing movie trivia, and I enjoyed the WWE aspect of it, to be able to exercise those muscles that I've always wanted to exercise. So that was a lot of fun. Now seeing where it's come, it's incredible. That's all I can tell you. Very humbling and appreciative of it. Dustin Dubuque, you think Whitney Sebo will do singles? He is another scary player. I think Whitney could. Absolutely. Whitney has shown that he is as good as Bibbs. That team can be very scary, critically acclaimed, and they're on a run. So Whitney definitely should be doing singles. I don't have any problem with that. Metis78, how did you get involved in the movie Trivia Showdown in the first place? I'm glad you did. Respect. That was Christian. Christian pitched it to me, and I'm a competitive guy, as some of you may have seen in some of my matches. So when he said, this is what I'm looking doing, would you want to be interested? I jumped through the phone. I was so interested to be a part of it. And when there was belts involved, then I really got interested. Patrick Harden, with the Glow Season 2 out recently, I can't help but ask, what has been your favorite celebrity match? The one I beat when I beat Alex Wolf. That's been my favorite celebrity match, because that was a legitimate match. Those were legitimate questions from the movie Trivia Schmodown master document. That was not from the celebrity master document, which is a little more easier questions. That was legitimate questions. So I beat Alex straight up in a match. It should count on my record, even though they don't want to put it on my record. It should count on my record. Josh Mabry, what did the reveal feel to you? I got goosebumps just watching it on YouTube. Josh, let me tell you something. If you watch the Late to the Party reaction to, that's what it felt like. If you can hear the sounds of people's reaction. It was incredible. It was everything I could not to take the mic. Christian had said, don't take the mic, let it just sit. But I wanted to take that mic and do a whole promo with all 5 of the Horsemen and introduce them one by one and talk to the fans who were there. But, the other side, we did the other side. I think that worked just as powerfully as well. So the Rhea felt incredible. That's what I would say. Jackson Barber, how would you want a faction-on-faction match to be played? Iron Man, Last Man Standing? Last Man Standing would be fun. Would be really fun. Or Last Faction Standing. Because if you go back and forth with 5 people able to talk about an answer, and then finally you hit that one answer that isn't that would be incredible. So an Iron Man match or Last Man Standing match that is faction versus faction, 5 against 5, that would be incredible. Eric Grebner, if Schmodown Live comes to Chicago, would you bring the Top 10 show to go live as well? Hell yes. If we can get enough people to show up for the Top 10 live, damn right. And let me tell you something, that's something Matt and I have been working on over the last few weeks, this idea of doing it live. Shout out to Brienne and the Real Rejects and Stacy as well for putting on the Film Therapy show that they're doing live that gave us ideas to maybe start doing it live in LA as well, and maybe other places. We'll see. What's next? Baby Carrots. Yes, baby, that's right. BCD, this might not be Schmodown related, but what is your favorite film of the year so far? What non-franchise films are you looking forward to seeing this year? Good question. My favorite film this year was probably Avengers Infinity War. I would have to say it's probably that one that is the most, that's been a favorite of mine, followed closely behind Incredibles 2, then Black Panther, or probably Black Panther, then Incredibles 2. But non-franchise, that new one with Ben Foster, I'm looking forward to seeing. And a couple of documentaries are coming out I'm looking forward to seeing as well. We'll see. But there's not much else non-franchise that my mind is thinking about right now because I'm focused on the summer. And that's what we do here at Collider. Right now we're covering everything that's happening in summer movie season. So that's where my mind is right now. I can't think of what else might be coming down the pike just yet. Let's see. Okay. What's it? Sorry, Ellis. Rocha owned your ass in teams. LOL. Thanks, Eric. I appreciate that. Darth Romo, who are you looking to face next? Who's on your hit list? Who's ever above me in the rankings, that's who I'm looking to face next. But I tell you what, I want that title. So you tell Sam Levine, when you see him in the streets, you see him on a movie set, you tell him I want that damn title. And you tell Drew McWeeny, you see the Godfather hanging around anywhere, you tell him I want that tag team belt. So just tell those boys. I guess one last question before we wrap up here. Hamad Al-Huraimi, I hope I got that right. Will the other horsemen, other than yourself and Matt, compete in teams? I don't know. This is the Horsemen, right? The Horsemen are 5 champions. 5. Former and current, right? So they will do as they see fit, and we will have a conversation about it. They don't have to ask my permission. If they want to do it, just tell me, and we're good to go. If Dan and Mark want to get together to be team champs again, great. If Imran wants to team up with Mark Riley or team up with Dan, great. Whatever works for all of us and we're happy about, that's how we want to roll with this thing. All right. Well, thanks everybody for the great questions. I had a lot of fun answering them, and of course getting a cameo from Martin Ellis. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate you taking the time to send these questions and being a patron of the Slowdown and contributing to the Patreon. It means a lot. It lets us get people to do production, lets us get people writers, those kinds of things, and pay some of the performers as well. Some of the people doing competitions, which is incredible. So listen. I know some people have been complaining about it, but all I can tell you is it's humbling, and it means a lot to all of us that you guys would be willing to do that. And so thank you so much. So there we go. All right. Thanks, everybody. And we'll talk to you next time. And once again,